There's a story folks forget sometimes when pride gets in the way, about the friends who crossed the sea on America's darkest day. He stood beneath the bright lights with thunder in his tone, said the world was never with us, said we stood there all alone. But before you call the neighbors out for how they run their land, take a walk through your own streets first, with your hat held in your hand. There are tents below the overpass, cold concrete for a bed, teachers working late at night just to keep their children fed. There are veterans under bridges, there are bills no prayer can pay. There are mothers cutting medicine just to make it one more day. When America called, the Allies came, through smoke and sorrow, dust and flame. They crossed the ocean, stood the same. When America called, the Allies came. They carried grief, they did not start. They stood beside a wounded heart. So don't forget and don't misname, when America called, the Allies came. There are children in the classroom, learning where to hide, while flags still fly above the schools, with fear tucked deep inside. There are people sitting in a jail cell, not yet judged for what they've done, but too poor to buy their freedom in the land of everyone. And you can call yourself the strongest, you can boast from shore to shore, but strength is how you treat the weak, not just how loud you roar. So before you mock a smaller place beneath the northern snow, remember mercy is a measure that the powerful ought to know. When America called, the Allies came, through smoke and sorrow, dust and flame. They crossed the ocean, stood the same. When America called, the Allies came. They carried grief, they did not start. They stood beside a wounded heart. So don't forget and don't misname, when America called, the Allies came. Do you remember September, when the towers hit the ground, when the whole world stopped its turning at that awful aching sound? NATO spoke the only time it ever spoke that way. Article 5 was lifted high for America that day. And even those outside that circle still came walking through the fire. Australia sent her sons and daughters into dust and war and wire. For 20 years they stood beside you, through the valleys and the pain. So don't say no one answered, when they answered in your name. A friend is not a servant, a brother is not a pawn, and loyalty should be remembered long after war is gone. The truth don't need a spotlight, it don't need a golden door. It rides in quiet sacrifice from those who gave you more. When America called, the Allies came, through smoke and sorrow, dust and flame. They crossed the ocean, stood the same. When America called, the Allies came. They carried They stood beside a wounded heart. So don't forget and don't misname when America called. The Allies came, so lower the thunder, soften the claim. Remember the hands that bore your pain. History whispers through dust and rain. When America called.